And Turning Point USA contributor Morgonn McMichael. Jessie Jane, I'll start with you. One of the things that bothers me the most about the doctor is the lack of humility, the lack of saying, you know what, maybe I got this wrong and I apologize to the American people. We'll all get through this together. Of course, I'm being idealistic, but he always lacked that humility and almost came at his critics who had a valid point.
He consistently lacked humility. He embraced being on magazine covers. He embraced throwing out the first pitch as if he was some national hero. He knew that the data was not clear. It was highly flawed in the initial stages of this COVID pandemic. The CDC has even come out and admitted they didn't even know if it was supposed to be 6 feet apart. And here we still go into banks and other places that have lines, and we still see the little circles on the ground with 6 feet apart. We never saw data that demonstrated anything that legitimized much of the guidance and that they gave us, including the masks. It was on and off. And he approached this more as if he was a celebrity. And I think that disgusted so many people. Then to find out he is the highest paid government official just made everybody baffled that somebody who's so well paid could be so aggressive with what we should do, when in fact they didn't know what we should do.
Yeah, and Morgan, Dr. Fauci made a fairly outrageous claim yesterday. He was asked whether he regrets the nationwide shutdowns that, of course, came at his guidance. Here was his response. He said, "I didn't shut down anything. I don't think shutdowns forever irreparably damaged anyone. I mean, but if you look at what's happened in the past, I believe that oversight is an important part of the government process. But some of the things that have gone on have been outright character assassination. That's not oversight." Okay, so he didn't shut anything down. But in case you forgot, let's take a little trip down memory lane.
I recommended to the president that we shut the country down. The only way to do that is by draconian means of essentially shutting down a country. We know that we can do that if we shut down. You've got to shut down, but then you've got to gradually open.
Morgan, I'll hand that off to you.
He has continued to be dishonest with the American people time and time again. We saw universities close. We saw the public schools close for kids. And he takes no account for the physical and psychological damages that these families and people went through in our country. So he's being dishonest. And let us not forget, with that dishonesty, the amount of money that he sent, the U.S. tax dollars, to the Wuhan lab of virology. He continues to be dishonest of the origin of where COVID started, and it has just been dishonesty since day one. He has also been using his power to get in the pockets of big tech and get in the pockets of the mainstream media to further push the mask, to push the vaccines, and he's been dishonest about it all since day one. So I'm very skeptical, honestly, why he's stepping down in December, right after the midterm elections, because I think he should go through a GOP hearing, given a good red wave I hope to come soon.
But let's hear what he had to say about stepping down in December. He had this to say about the timing.
I do want to do other things in my career, even though I'm at a rather advanced age. I don't see myself being in this job to the point where I can't do anything else after that. So that's the reason. It has nothing to do with pressures, nothing to do with all the other nonsense that you hear about.
Says he might want to play baseball. I added that part.
That pitch, because that pitch Morgan, was so good.
Not among the best.
No.
That was a 50 Cent kind of thing. Morgan, final thought on that.
My final thought is, with his retirement, he would be receiving $350,000 of pension. I think he's doing this to step down, hide from the American people, and continue doing what he's doing behind closed doors and not have to go through any type of questioning or hearing. And so I think we need to hold him accountable for the lies of dishonesty.
Jessie, about 10 seconds, your thought.
You know, it's absurd that he's trying to convince us that he's going to go on and pursue another career. The man is in his 70s now. He served in the U.S. government, over 50 years. Why wouldn't he just retire?
I think he's in his 80s.
I've been working at the same place for quite some time. I'm very excited about the new opportunity. Jessie Jane Duff, Morgonn McMichael, thank you.